Hello.
Okay, so hopefully Eric will be in too. Okay. Hi. I'm sorry. I got all excited. It says five people. I take it Mom might still be person number 4 and 5 in there. But happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to edition of Past Futures Legend Show, where we talk about health and fitness. Tonight, back on the show, we have Miss Jackie Clark and Mr. Rico Winters. We have Eric Brookes that's joining us also. Hopefully we can get him in here in time. Jackie, you are freezing up on us a little bit. But let me first start off with a little introduction. Jackie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, so I am Jackie Clark, and I am CEO of Chicagoland Fat Loss Camps, as well as the founder of Journey 365 Fitness. Excited about the opportunity to be here today.
And Rico.
Hi, I'm Rico Winters. I'm a photographer, a fitness enthusiast, a trainer, and I'm excited to be here today.
Okay, well, I am glad to have both of you back on the show tonight. I'm in my post 2025, pre 2026, jump into the groove of fitness, headgear, shirt, and all of the above. So tonight I kind of wanted to go into 2026 talking about health and fitness. I know a lot of individuals are coming into the new year talking about New Year's resolutions and getting healthy and all the things that they want to do. So we're just going to dive right on in. What has been your 2026 fitness goal or resolution, or did you have one? Talk to me.
For me, it's not a resolution per se, but goal. I got 6 pounds away from my goal weight. But I moved to Florida, transitioned from being in Chicago for 27 years down to Florida, and not having a kitchen together. I had to eat out, even though I was making decent choices. The eating out and the saltier food of the Paneras and the Chipotle, I picked up 10 pounds. I'm like, holy crap. And so I wanted to make sure I got that weight off right away after the move in the holidays. So I am down 5 pounds already, and I'm excited about that.
Okay, well, you know what? I like the way that sounds. Can you tell us how you've been doing that? Talk to us, sis. Talk to us. How have you been doing that?
So I started. So with the part of the fitness app, I have a program called 30-Day Trim Down. Now with the app, you have a 10-day jump start. That's to kind of get started. If you just started, if you have been working out, I don't recommend that right away. 30 days. Just do a 10-day to get started. But as a part of that is the 30-day program, and we finished week 1, and it's been a combination of fitness and nutrition. And really, people don't want to hear this, but it's about 80 to 90% nutrition. So, yep, just eating right, working out, drinking water. So,
okay. And I'm gonna bring that to Rico. Rico, listen, you and I, we go way back, and I have seen your photos. I have seen your fitness journey. You know, I'm peeping you on Instagram, on Facebook, your photography, your jump rope skills, which I still will never get because my knees are not gonna let me do it. However, just talk to us about your 2026 goals and what you would like people to know about sticking to a resolution if they've set one for 2026.
Okay. My 2026 resolution is to get into bodybuilding. I started a bodybuilding course, and I just started learning all the ins and outs of that. And I feel like I need to pursue the highest level of training. Otherwise, I don't do well if I don't give it my all. So bodybuilding is my 2026 goal resolution. And in terms of sticking to a plan, you just have to commit. You just have to master the art of commitment. And when you do that, you can do anything.
So with that, I like the way you put that. You just have to commit, because I know realistically a lot of individuals, because I've done it myself. You come into whether it's a new goal, you're setting this goal for yourself coming into the fitness year, or coming into the year saying, all right, well, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna work out 7 days a week, and I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. I saw them eyes, Jackie. Listen, I fully understand. So just talk to the audience. Like, what's a realistic goal based on both of your experiences with fitness? You know, I've looked at your goals, Jackie, and I've looked at where you came from to where you're at now. And your journey has been absolutely amazing, you know. So, and then I see you on Instagram, I see you on Facebook. You be pumping us up, making us jealous about all the beautiful weather in Florida, and rub it in. That's okay. But what has been the thing for you as far as when you make a goal for yourself? Are you coming in saying, all right, I need to work out 7 days a week, I need to do all this? Like, what's been your key to success?
No, definitely for people that are beginning. So if you're beginning, you know, if you can get in, because when you don't achieve your goal, you feel like a failure, and it makes it worse. So I tell people, start with this. If you've not been working out 3 days a week, is fine, right? Then progress to 5 days a week, and maybe 3 days of strength training, you know, 2 to 3 days of walking or cardio exercise. I'd say 3 to 5 to just get started. Now I am up to about 6, depending on how my body feels. I do 3 days of strength training and then 3 days of cardio, but I've been working out consistently for the last 8 years. So,
Okay.
you know, definitely, because I try to tell people, you have to do what's sustainable, right? And so people do 2 a day. I'm like, is 2 a day sustainable? Are you going to do that forever? If you cannot do it forever, don't try to lose weight that way, because you're going to set yourself up for failure. So.
Mhm. And what about you, Rico? What do you think coming
Um,
into it?
I tend to agree with Jackie. I think it really comes down to where you're at in your fitness journey. If you have a history of working out and you know what you can do, and then you do what you can do. If you're new to working out, you have to pace yourself. Sometimes you have to get guidance from people to let you know that you're moving too fast, and sometimes you're moving too slow,
Hmm.
um, depending on what your goals are. But you do have to have a sustainable pace. And
Hmm.
sometimes in the beginning, you just don't know what that is. So it's okay to get going. And if you need to dial it back, dial it back. If you need to ramp it up, ramp it up.
Okay. And I like the way both of you put that, 3 days a week, because I think when I look at fitness, that's kind of how I started out. I think I'm kind of like both of you now, where I may be doing 5 to 6 days a week in my fitness journey, and coming in with maybe that strength training day, that cardio day, and then like a day of some type of progressive training where you're putting all the small moves together and building on that, and maybe some yoga days or some flexibility and mobility days. Because as we begin to age like fine wine, we have to take care of the joints a little bit better throughout the
Yeah.
years. So I want, from both of your perspectives, talk to individuals about the importance of a recovery day, because I will tell you, I will go in gyms and I will listen to individuals working out, and sometimes it's like, okay, when you're done with the workout the next day, they may come back, oh, I am so sore, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, well, no pain, no gain. Really? Tell me what you think about
Mhm.
recovery, and if it's even important to
Yeah.
your fitness journey at all.
Well, I'm talking to myself. I am notorious for just not stretching. I'm bad. I will do a warm up, but I'd say the importance of stretching is really, really key. As well as drinking water. Again, I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that, but you have lactic acid buildup in your muscles in your body, and you have to get water to flush that out. Number one, and then you have to stretch. Right. Again, I'm not an expert by any manner of being with physical therapy, but you do have to stretch. because if you don't stretch, your body becomes even more tight and more kind of constricted. And then I think as far as the resting, I don't know about you guys, but I typically work out, get up 4:45 in the morning. And normally by
Whoa, 4:45.
Yeah. And then by 7, 8, I'm normally tired. But then I stay up and I burn the candle at both ends. So I'm really trying to get more disciplined about, like, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I feel bad, but like if I just force myself to stay in the bed until about 6 or 7, because in fact I have this ring thing, or ring, whatever it's called. It's like you have a sleep debt, like you need to sleep more. And so I'm listening to this, and like I'm going to bed earlier. So I think it's extremely important so that you don't wear yourself out, right? So again, I'm trying to get better about that. So it's something I'm improving on.
And I might expand upon something with that, but I want to know about Rico. Like, what do you think about recovery days? Do you think they're important? And if so, why? Why are they important?
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. When I first started my fitness journey, they were not important to me at all, because I needed the consistency of getting in the gym every day. It became a psychological thing that I needed to work out every day. But when I had a day when I had to miss, it felt great. That missing that day just felt so good. And I went to the gym the next day stronger. My appetite for exercise I was more hungry. Psychologically, it was hard for me to take a day off, and I just matured to the point where I can take a day off. And to be honest with you, 2 days of rest really does it for me. And I think that's based on the volume of my workout. So I work out 3 days on, 2 days off. And my workout is pretty much a HIIT workout for about an hour and a half. And I need that
That's
2 days
intense.
of recovery because of the intensity of the workout. So it is important because I feel great when I take it. Your body needs to recover to grow, to replenish everything that you've broken down.
I like that.
I feel like
Hey,
a
Eric,
slacker.
how are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
I'm
Eric.
glad you were able to get in. Eric,
I'm
so
a
just
I'm a
kind of
slacker. I only work out like 40 minutes.
40 minutes, but that's but that's
We do
good.
an hour
But
and a
here's
half.
the thing. You brought up something, Jackie, about yours, and I'm gonna come back to you, Rico. I have 2 questions that I have for the 2 of you, but let me go to Eric. Eric, we were talking about going into 2026 and the goals that people set up for themselves whenever they go into a new year with fitness. So just kind of talk to us. Have you set any 2026 goals for yourself in terms of fitness? And what would you recommend to the viewers whenever they're setting up these resolutions or these goals for themselves?
My usual goals are put on as much clean muscle as possible and get as lean as possible. So I actually this year kind of took a survey and let other people examine my physique and let them determine what they think I should work on. And then after tallying up everyone's opinion, figure out what I was going to work on. And it was
Your
interesting.
flexibility, your flexibility. That's all I'm saying. As your yoga teacher, your flexibility. But that's it. I digress.
And there's a new one, but I mean, you had certain people feeling, shoulders or arms. But the one that Rico always has heard me talk about, and it actually is growing really fast right now, and it comes to me always playing around with my diet, is my legs. The day I have people looking at my legs like they look at my upper body, I will feel somewhat complete as far as my journey within fitness. Now, I talked about being as lean as possible. If I could get to 10% body fat and still carry the amount of size that I want to, that would be a success for me, a successful year. But again, that comes with playing around with your diet. I mean, when you've trained for a couple weeks or months, your body responds really fast. But the majority of people on here have been training for years at a time, so your body's as smart as you. It's like, give me something that I don't know. And so figuring out along this long journey what new things it wants in order for it to hit its goals is the fascinating part, and not getting frustrated when you don't hit your goals after you tried this and you tried that and your body hadn't responded the way you want to. So that is where I'm at with my journey right now.
Okay. Okay. And so that'll tie it back in. I have a question for you, Rico, because you mentioned the next step for you going into the bodybuilding. And one question, are you going into it to compete?
Not
At some
necessarily.
point?
Not necessarily. I want to live the lifestyle,
Okay.
um, and I don't plan to compete, but you never know.
And I find that interesting because I know how driven you are, and I've
hmm
seen your journey, and I know that you elevating yourself to that next level is exactly where you're supposed to be. So you decided that goal for a reason, and I already see it. We're about to be sitting around the stage rooting you on. I already see it. Maybe we'll be taking the pictures. I might be using my
Okay.
Samsung, but we'll be taking the photos. But you brought up a good point. Now, it takes a lot of dedication whenever you're going into that type of arena when it comes to your diet, your workout regimen. And then you talked about the psychological piece about missing the days. And I know we kind of talked about the piece of getting the rest and having your body recover. So just talk about the psychological piece, because I found myself there, and I'm pretty confident there are a lot of viewers that find themselves there. When you miss the days, was there guilt attached? And how do you get around these, I guess, these myths of, some people spiral down a hill where it becomes a slippery slope. That psychological piece can be something very taxing for people. You're just going, and they can't find that off switch. So how do you go down that road in a healthy way without turning it into, I guess, an obsession that kind of ruins
Mhm.
your life in the world of fitness, I guess is what I want to say.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a tough question. Um, with me, and I'll say this, the reason and I think I mentioned this on the previous show, is that when I was heavy, I had to develop a routine in which I was guaranteed success. And
Hmm.
I felt like if I went to the gym every single day, I knew I was going to do the work. But if I gave myself a chance to think about the kids, to think about grocery shopping, to think about doing other things, that I would do those things first. So what I decided to do was, as soon as I wake up, go to the gym. It was 24-hour gym Supreme, and do that every day. And then I was guaranteed success, right? So what I would say to, if someone starts out like that, um, what you can do is have a goal. And if you're going every day, go until you meet this goal, and then start to scale back, and then start to say, hey, you know what? I need to do it the right way. I need to
Hmm.
take that day of rest. I've lost my 20 pounds, so now it's time to get on a better schedule
Hmm.
that will allow me to recover. And recovery is part of the process. And a
Hmm.
lot of times we forget that. Um, Another thing I would suggest is to have a coach. If you have a coach or a trainer, they'll guide you and they'll say that's enough. You're paying the coach, you're paying the trainer, so you do what they tell you to do.
And I like that. And for some people, you know, I like what Rico was saying about having the coach, but I will say this, if you know that, let's just be real, we've all perhaps been there. When it comes to the financial piece, we do know that coaches and trainers come at a cost. So if that is something that's not in your wheelhouse, I offer to individuals, always look at having an accountability partner, somebody that is big into fitness, because I will be honest to you, all three of you have been my accountability partner in my fitness journey. You know, we've done Tribe together, we've done fitness photos together, we do yoga together, we've done a lot of things together, we've created fitness apps together. So just watching you motivate the masses is the thing that brings the extra energy to me to continue to do the things that I want to do in the fitness arena. You know, maybe with some limitations, as I mature or whatever, but having that accountability partner is going to be very important. And with that, Jackie, I had a question for you, because you were saying you had this ring or something that tells you about your sleep. So
Yeah, so you have the Aura ring. Yeah, so at first I had a Fitbit, but it was okay. But somebody recommended me to this, or it's called an Aura ring, Oura, Aura ring. Yeah, and it kind of measures your sleep, and again, for women in my age group, I don't know about you, but it actually tells me my body. So for younger women, it's a help with their monthly cycle, and for older women, for me, it tells me when I had a hot flash.
Girl, you're 25. What you talking about?
Right. No, yeah,
so
but
here's my thing, and I bring
that
it up because you brought up sleep, right?
Yeah, sleep.
So I want you to talk to the audience about the importance of sleep in your fitness journey, because I think that is so overlooked. And I have my reasons behind that, but I think that is so overlooked. So talk about that piece and what you really think about that as a fundamental piece to the fitness.
That's a great question. So so years of helping people lose weight. Some people feel that because they work third shift, they cannot lose weight. The challenge with so people that kind of have normal kind of lifestyles, they're a challenge too, because they wake up early and then they're still staying up late, right? And so we definitely tell those people, like, shut it down at 9-10 o'clock at night. But then we work with people that have third shift schedules, and that's a bit of a challenge because they work overnight, and so they're trying to run around, do errands. So the first thing I'll start doing, I'll say, hey, okay, Melissa, man, you know, for your weight, you know, and for if you're eating this meal plan, you should have lost 3 pounds. But let's say, you know, you haven't lost any weight. So I'll just start going through, I'll start asking questions. Okay, are you drinking your water? Are you eating right? Are you logging your meals? And then I'll say, how are you sleeping? And then sometimes I'll find out people that work third shift, what happens is they don't get off work and go right home. They drop the kids off, they go to the bank, they go run errands, and they're not going to bed until 10 o'clock in the morning. And what happens is then they're waking up at like 2 o'clock because, again, they have to pick up kids and stuff like that. So they're only getting 4 hours of sleep. And so I say, you know what you have to do is you have to figure out how to go home, get in the bed, and go to sleep. And I tell them, give me at least 6 hours. It's still not enough, but I really have. So those people that are working third shift, as I start to diagnose some of the challenges, and one of the biggest challenges they have is sleep. And so once I kind of help them get this prioritizing sleep, then they start to drop the weight. Now, here's another kind of caveat separate from sleep. People feel like, oh, you have to eat within certain times of the day, not eating after 7, not all this stuff like that. People that work third shift can still lose weight, right? It's just intake and spacing those meals to keep your metabolism going. But definitely sleep. If they're not getting their sleep in, they're not losing the weight, because it's cortisol. Again, the technical element of it is your body is stressed because it's not sleeping well. It's cortisol, and it's not actually recovering. So
Which
your body's
poison the body. I love that, and we're gonna definitely have to do a show on that, starting to talk about the hormonal imbalances we have that's keeping us from reaching those goals.
Can
You were
I
going to
answer
say something.
can I answer your question about how to not obsess over weight?
Absolutely. And then I had
think
that
for
same
women,
question for Eric also.
and I don't, maybe men, you know, there's some men that are into how their body looks, but women, we obsess over our body all the time. I think two things. One, stop comparing yourself to other people, because, you know, if someone is 300 pounds and they get to 200 pounds, that's a great weight for that person, right? So, and I always say we have this thing called like, what's your size sexy, right? Because 165 is for me just fine, because I don't desire to be like 145 pounds, 150. I don't desire that anymore because I'm athletic and I won't have any kind of shape left, right? So I don't want, and then it's hard, it's going to be hard for me to maintain because I'm very muscular. So I think the key is just really focusing on what, you know, what is a good weight for you to pursue. You know, can you maintain it and sustain it long term, right? And really, we have to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Another tip I tell people to do is, if you feel like you don't see progress, go back to that picture from, you know, last year this time, right? Or maybe compare your pictures every 30 days. Don't obsess on the scale. Look at your pictures from, you know, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, and then you'll see that gradual change and get some satisfaction. But again, we tend to obsess over women, at least every roll, and, you know, oh, I got some little fat sticking out of my shirt. It's like we obsess over this stuff.
I'm fat, my back.
Right, but then what we have to do is stand back and look at ourselves and be like, you know what? I look dang good. You know, you got to step back and stop obsessing and say, you know what, and give yourself some grace and credit. So yeah. So that's what I especially for the women, we obsess too much over it.
So, and with that, I'm gonna come to you, Eric, because over the years that I've known you, you've had a very positive outlook on that. I've heard you say time and time again, what is your piece on the psychological aspect of it? Because you will always say, I'm my own competition, which I absolutely love. I've heard you say that year after year, birthday pics, everything. It's like, I am my own competition. So I just want you to kind of talk to the audience about your philosophy on that piece and getting wrapped around the psychological piece of losing weight, feeling good in your body, and also the sleep, because you and Rico, y'all be up at like dark 30. That's my military term. Y'all are up very early training. And I used to be like, okay, Rico is in there at like 4 a.m. playing basketball. Eric in there and already had a 2-hour workout by the time I get there at 5 a.m. Like, what the hell is going on? So just like talk to us.
Yeah, I try to, like you said, be my own competition, because Jackie nailed it. If you compare yourself to the next person, you're going to frustrate yourself. We have different genetics and we have different ideas as far as our ideal body. Of course, it's nice to look appealing to the masses, but you got to like what you see in the mirror. And again, to piggyback off of Jackie, and Rico knows I do this, every Saturday when I wake up, I take a picture of myself. And I use those pictures each Saturday to say, okay, I'm going in the right direction, or maybe I'm stagnant, maybe I need to change something up. But that's how I keep myself in check with my own self, is those self pictures every Saturday morning when I wake up. And I love when you brought up the different times that people, you know, train, because I used to hear all the time, oh, you're not serious if you don't train early in the morning. Well, everyone's schedule is different. Everyone has a different work schedule. You know, if you can only get in the gym in the afternoon, then get in there in the afternoon. You know, if you're tracking and doing X, Y, and Z, just put in the work. But you see so many people, and I know Rico sees it, come to the gym year in and year out just like you do, but you see the progress within yourself and you see the progress within themselves, and it's like, why are they not getting the same results that I'm getting? I don't have any better genetics than they do. They're not being honest with themselves and doing the math when it comes to, okay, I'm putting the work in the gym, but like Jackie said, maybe I'm going to the buffet and eating everything, and that's why I'm not seeing it in the mirror. Or maybe I'm doing the eating stuff, but I'm not getting, they're not putting the whole component together. So be honest with yourself, And don't overwhelm yourself if it's too much. Okay, this period I need to focus on my sleep. I got my sleeping down. Now I need to figure out how to get this eating thing together. Now I need to figure out how to get this gym thing. And get it to where you got a good routine, a good system within yourself to hit your goals. That's what I would recommend anybody.
Okay. And Enrico, I kind of, just to kind of go back to what you were saying, you were talking about how you get up, go to the gym, you make that as a goal for yourself when you started out every day. What would be your philosophy on setting goals? Because people, and I think we kind of covered this or touched on it before. People will come to the table. I get clients all the time, and I'm sure Jackie does also. They'll come and say, well, I want to lose weight. Okay, well, what does that mean? Or I could be in the studio teaching a yoga class, and I've had people come to me and say, I want my arms to look like yours. I'd be like, I don't know what to tell you, because I need to know what your goals are. What have you set for yourself, and what does that look like? You telling me you want to lose weight. What do you want to do? You want to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds? You want to just drop it off tomorrow and have a 6-pack? What do you tell individuals that are coming to you about setting goals, and what tips to success could you give them about setting up goals for themselves when it comes to becoming a healthier version of themselves, right?
Yeah, so a lot of times when people come to me and they say they want to lose weight, they'll say, hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. And they may be 300 pounds. And I'll just be very direct and say, is that what you really want to do? Do you really want to be 250 pounds? Because if you're 250, your health risks are the same if you're 300. Do you really? So I kind of force them to tell me what they really want to do. And then once they tell me what they really want to do, then I kind of give them a realistic idea of how they can accomplish that goal. And one thing that I try to emphasize is that it's not going to happen overnight. And that if you're 300 pounds, you probably don't have a history of exercising. So you have to start slow. And that the victory or the accomplishment is the consistency. Get in the groove of working out, make it a habit. Don't worry about the results right away. But if you follow a proven system, the results will come.
What do you think about that, Eric? About the goals? How do you get people? How do you get people to have a mindset where they're a little more disciplined about setting the goals, making something tangible, so that they can see the results they need?
Rico nailed it in a lot of aspects. The important part is just developing those habits of getting into a routine of training all the time. I mean, because if you get into the habit of where it's your lifestyle and you know you can't go a week without putting in the work, that's just step one. And then I love the point where he told the person, it's basically not going to happen overnight. I had a young lady come to me not long ago, disappointed in how she was in shape and let herself get out of shape and was comparing herself to others. And was like, I said, you could technically look like those people, but you got to be honest with yourself. It's going to take years. And she looked at me, years? I said, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, years. But if you year in, year out, put in the work, you can look like one of them. I said, it doesn't work if you put in 3-4 months and then you just stop. You defeated the whole purpose. And then the accountability thing, like we talked about, I said, get you an accountability partner. And that's the wonderful thing about, like, when Rico and I was going to the gym, if someone didn't show up for a couple of those days, you'd be like, hey, where did so-and-so go? You had to call them up, not that I don't want to see my results, but we need to make sure they're on track too. We're kind of all in this thing together. So that's another thing that you need, because a lot of people are not self-discipline and can't be consistent on their own. So I hope the biggest thing they get out of tonight is be honest with yourself. If you know that on your own, especially in the beginning of your journey, that you're not going to hold yourself accountable and be consistent, get an accountability partner, and that will help tremendously.
And I like that. So I'm really, what I'm hearing is accountability is a big thing. Recovery is non-negotiable for anybody that's out there listening. And daily movement, setting your training days, whether it's 3 days or 5 days. But this question is for you, Jackie, because, and I don't know how much Eric and Rico you're traveling, but Jackie travels a lot. So I have gotten so many clients that will come to me and say, well, I go to hotels, they don't have a gym. I'm here and they don't have this, or I don't have time. Your schedule, I have watched you in 2025, and I will tell you, I don't even know how you find the time to stay fit, but I've seen you transition in that time frame. So tell people what it is that you're doing whenever you're traveling, because I'll be honest with you, when I take on new clients, I hear excuses when they're coming to me like that. Well, I can't do it because I don't have time, or I travel, I do this, I do that, I have kids. Okay, great. Life is lifing. And what I hear is excuses. So how has it worked for you? What do you do? And what has been the thing that has sustained you with all your traveling?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think the first thing it starts with, when it comes to work, at the end of the day, you are replaceable at your job, period. If you pass away because of a heart attack, stroke, whatever, because you haven't taken care of yourself, they're going to replace you. So when it comes to balancing work, I actually block out my calendar Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I block it out purple from 5 a.m. to 7. And that means like basically leave me alone. Like, don't try to book them. It's purple. It's not, whatever. And then when it comes to travel, so as an engineer, as my background, I traveled 50% of the time. And I always make sure, look, I don't even ask about any other amenity. I'm like, do you have a gym? So I'm calling in advance to make sure they have a gym. And if the gym is closed, I'm staying someplace else. And the same thing, I always just I try to plan my schedule around my workouts. So I do Zooms on Sunday mornings, Monday, and Wednesday. And if I have to fly out, I'm not flying out at 5 a.m. O.30, not on Monday. I'm flying out at 9 a.m. So I prioritize those people. So I always prioritize my fitness routine, because if I don't prioritize it, like, no one's going to do the work for me. So, right. Even when I travel. So again, I just went on vacation to Marco Island, and you better believe I made sure they had a gym. And I'm lucky in that my husband kind of wakes up late. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I can wake up, I can work out from like 7 to 8 and then do food or whatever. So I literally plan my workouts like as a part of my schedule, like for real. And I have alarms on my phone. It may say get your butt up on there, but I literally set alarms on my phone to work out. Like I don't know if you can see my screen, but I literally have all these kind of workouts, like these alarms on my phone. Now again, can you press snooze? Instead of snooze, I have a second alarm. I don't have snoozes. I set my alarms like 5 minutes apart. So yeah, I don't play when it comes to my fitness. Hopefully that answered your question. And again, as far as stuff to work out with, I travel with bands. TSA will allow you to travel with 2 5-pound weights. And again, I just always try to make sure that there's some weights around. And then there are body weight workouts as well.
I like that. And so you said body weight, and I'm gonna come to you on that, Rico, because you mentioned in the beginning when we started about HIIT workouts, the high intensity interval training workouts. Talk to people about that, because I know that a lot of people are under the impression that you have to have a gym to work out. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think you have to have one. Body weight exercises, a kettlebell. They even have ropeless jump ropes. So there's so much you can do. You can have one kettlebell. You can do numerous exercises. You can start out with kettlebell swings, drop into kettlebell squats, um, switch over to push-ups, um, mountain climbers. There's so much you can do with very little equipment. A Bosu ball. Um, so I tend to do a lot of kettlebell workouts. Um,
Yeah.
Alternate that with jump rope, push-ups, and I do that at home. I
Okay.
don't use the gym for that. But there's a lot to do. There's a lot on YouTube,
Hmm.
and if you Google home workouts, all kind of stuff will come up.
I love it. I love it. And with that, I'm gonna come to you, Eric, because I know now you've been strong into the yoga arena, and I know when we first met, that just wasn't your thing. I know it was like a lot of weight training, hit training. Every now and then, when we would be doing these long runs, you would pass by us and blow the horn, like, "What is this madness?" So just talk to the people about different formats like the yoga training or the flexibility that you've been doing, and what has it done for your physique?
Yoga has transformed my body in a way that I would have never imagined. And shout out to Miss Jasmine Rodriguez for even getting me into yoga. Our anniversary was January 7th, 2024. So happy anniversary to us starting yoga. And that
Hmm.
comes in the form of her not wanting to try things on her own and going, Eric, would you please? I can't start nothing on my own. I need you. And I'm like, okay, what the heck? But it's helped again because, like you talked about, the flexibility that I rarely worked on in my life. So I'm a little behind as far as working on that, but it's helped. I feel like as far as inflammation, especially on my leg days, my hips can be super tight, and especially I love when I have hamstring and glute day. I hit them really hard because legs are a big emphasis for me. And then right after that, going into the yoga studio and really stretching those muscles and tendons out helps out a lot. But again, that comes to being open, to different options of training. There's 9 ways to skin a cat, and you'd be surprised in what you will discover if you give something a try instead of always staying into the same routine. I get it. We're a creature of habit. We don't like things to change. So I advise people, look, find something like you said in the beginning, get into a routine or a habit. But once you've been training for years and at a time, don't be afraid to accept and try new things because you'll never know what it is that you might go, oh my God, I like this.
Hmm.
And again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So just go on with it and discover new things.
I like it. With that, I want to just kind of on a note, wrapping the show up. I'm not going to really talk about nutrition. We touched on that vaguely, but what I would like to do is kind of touch on any type of projects that everyone is working on right now, as it deals with fitness. Because Jackie, I know you own your own gyms. Just talk to us about any new projects that you have going on, and I just like to get the word out there, and I'll go around the room. If you're working on any type of business project that we can put out there and have people look into, that would be great. And I think Jackie froze up on us. All right,
Uh-oh.
so, uh-oh. All right, well, what about you, Rico?
So I told you about the bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pursuing this bodybuilding certification.
Okay.
So if someone wants to get some training, I'll be available for that. But I'm primarily pursuing it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm in Ohio, and I do have a photographic project coming up with Mr. Ohio, the
Nice.
Mr. Ohio bodybuilder, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. I would love for you to send me the information and share it, and so that we can push it in this platform and share it out with everyone. What about you, Eric? And let's see what happened to
Um,
Jackie. I don't know. She died on us.
it's funny. My gym has actually been trying to talk me into getting on stage and competing. And I've always said for the longest, in my opinion, not that I don't think I look bad, but I always felt like I didn't have the genetics to compete. But it's been the younger guys of all people that's been like, dude, have you seen yourself compared to the other ones around here and your
Mhm.
muscle bellies and stuff like that? You could do it. And so I'm still on the fence about it because, like I always stress to people, my legs come first. Until I'm satisfied with my legs, then I might consider it. But as far as projects working on the Fitness 365 app, which is very important, y'all. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. It is a lot of helpful information, especially for people that don't like to get to the gym and say, you
Mhm.
know, I only have time to work out from home. This is a perfect way to get your workout from home and get everything else done that you need to do. So please check out that app. So outside of that, just going on my regular fitness journey.
And look there, back right on time, Jackie, because Erica was just pushing the Journey 365 app. What I wanted to know is what projects in the fitness arena you're working on that you can share with the audience. And I know tomorrow you have a another piece on the show, but just talk to us briefly about the Journey 365 program. I need my small shirt too. I need my
Yeah,
shirt.
right.
Mm.
So I apologize, everybody. My laptop overheated and it cut completely off, which is fine. But yeah, so I think just two things. One, the fitness app is encompasses a lot of things. It's not just fitness. It's not just nutrition. So it's over 100 different workouts. Everything from the again the 10-day jumpstart workouts to the hit tip type workouts. Some are body weight. Some are 8-pound weights.
Okay. Some are 10-pound weights, some
Then
are
Mm,
12-pound weights. Jump back in there.
can you
I
guys
said
hear
10
me?
pound, 12-pound weights. All right.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me? You hear me?
We can hear
we hear
you.
you.
Okay, yep. So I think that also you can really focus on the nutrition because there are over 600 recipes in the app. Not 60, not 60, 600. And when it comes to nutrition, like that's a game changer because a lot of people suffer from food boredom, right? They get tired of eating the same things. They don't have enough ideas. So that's really helped people out a lot. So, and again, our next new project is called Bangin' Booty. Okay. So, okay. So we have our 10-day jump start. We have our 30-day trim down, which again, people that want to lose weight. And again, I'm on my second round of 30-day trim down. And as you can still do the program as many times as you need to. And as you progress, you increase your weight. So I may start with 8-pound weights. Then I'll go to 10 pounds. And I think I posted on one video, I'm like, oh my God, Melissa, I'm on 12-pound weights, right?
Yes.
In fact, I did other day workout with all 12-pound weights. And
I'm
so I'm
proud of
really
you.
excited about it. But a really good point about it. We talked about accountability. I think Eric and Rico talked about this. We actually have this thing called a leaderboard. And the leaderboard is awesome because for those of you all that are competitive, you get points for doing things in the app. So let's say you your log your meal in the app because again, food is 80 to 90% of it. So you have these recipes, you post your food in the app, you get 10 points. You let's say Eric posts in the app, he posts what he ate that day, he gets 5 points. Melissa will go in and comment on his post and she gets a point. So there's activity for one, doing the things you need to do to lose weight and then supporting other people. So I
Hmm.
cap the points on how many times you can post to 15 points, but it's unlimited points when it comes to supporting other people. So we have a leaderboard that really you see it sees how people are navigating in the app. They can see how many points they have, and people are like, how do I get to the top of the leaderboard? I'm like, do the things you need to do to lose weight, and you will start to win. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying the app. We're at about 100 users right now, and our goal is to get to our first 365 users. And here's a caveat, because once we get to that 365, one, no matter what we bring to the app, you're going to be paying the same price. We're not going to increase the price on you guys, because you would be the original 365 users. Now, everybody else, 366, they may be paying a higher price. But for our first 365, you guys will be locked into only $30 a month, or $29.95 a month. That's $1 a day for your health. So,
and I love it.
That's
and
my
what I will
plug.
tell you,
hold on, let me try to turn up the sound.
Well, I will tell you, the app is a great investment. The meal plan that's out there, some of the people that have come through, some of the customers I have seen in a 30-day time period that they're losing anywhere from 10 to 15 pounds. Just a matter of how dedicated they say their meal prep ideals, their fitness ideals, their workout self-guided. And I'm leading quite a few of the workouts. So join me for some HIIT. I love HIIT. Get out there, join us on a couple of these projects. But that is all I have for tonight. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight and sharing your knowledge. Jackie, I let them know you break them off in the app. Like, no matter how you splice it, 30 minutes, if they're going to get 30 minutes with me, it's going to be rough. No, it really isn't. But it's going to be productive, and you're going to get the results. But and Eric is part of the collaboration too. Rico, we would love to pull you in at some point if you have time. I know you're busy, but I look forward to working with all of you. And here's to perfect health. And thank you all for being a part of the show tonight.
Thank you.
Good night.
Always a pleasure.
And happy
New Year.
Day 13. Woo,
Yes.
my God.
Yes.